Alright. I think I'm here. I think. Hello. Hi. It's me. Now with shorter hair. Let's play some Final Fantasy XVI. Oh, that was my phone. If you hear a little bit of background noise, I have a fan on. I was originally going to have my AC on, but that thing makes a lot of noise because I'm literally right in front of it. So, there's that. But I'm not going to do that, obviously. So, time for fan. Hopefully it doesn't get crazy hot. I'm hoping, because I'm right next to my computer as well. Alright. You know what? Let's do some side quests. I haven't been doing anything.
Ah, you're Sid's man, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry, you're gonna hear some noise.
Some assistance, could I?
That depends. What do you need?
Some new bearers from Oriflamme just arrived, and it cost Master Quinton a pretty penny to convince their owner to part with them. Man must have been a bloody tyrant. I can't get a peep out of them, try as I might.
They're probably terrified of you.
You're probably right. Dare say it'd take a bearer like yourself to open them up. So, will you have a word with them? Help them settle in?
I'll try.
I can try.
That'll do me. Tell them they're safe, and that if they need anything, they just have to ask.
I'll let them know.
Appreciate it. They're sitting over there, taking a long overdue breather, looks like.
Hey, what's up?
So you're the new arrivals. Is there anything I can get you? You're safe here. They don't punish people like us for speaking our minds.
Truly.
Truly.
I'm hungry. My sister too, we're starving.
Wait here. I'll fetch you something from the tavern.
Thank you.
I won't be long. You stay here and rest.
Damn it, Clive. Why do I love you so much? It's just, he's a very sad boy. That's the thing about Clive, he's just very sad.
Sun's setting fast. Can I have another cup, Daddy?
I'll have 2 plates of whatever you're serving.
Sorry. We've enough mouths of our own to feed without tending to the wants of outsiders.
It's not for me. It's for some new arrivals.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't see the mark. So you're a comrade. Well, in that case, you may have whatever you require. Take all the bread and wine you want.
No,
That's
thank
really
you.
all it takes. One look at the innkeeper's mark.
Of course it is. I do as Master Quinton commands, as do we all. And Master Quinton commands that none of his favoured guests be left wanting. Well, don't keep our new comrades waiting. Take what you need and see that they eat their fill.
Bread and wine. Hopefully this'll be enough.
That's a good combination. The bread soaks up the wine. And the wine lets the bread soak. Yeah.
Don't tell me. Turnips for supper.
Brother, did you see? That bearer spoke to a master.
What manner of place is this?
Yeah. Bread and wine from the tavern.
What's up, Ming? Where have you been?
May we?
I've been good.
Truly.
How have you been? Been a while. You don't pop in no more. You don't come see Grandpa Chonch. But yeah, I've been good. Been playing some Final Fantasy. Yeah. Living.
Such plenty. Never in all my days.
Brother, This place is like a dream.
Wait,
We sat,
hold
and
on.
no one shouted. We ate, and more was offered.
I know. I can't believe it.
You're free now. And the next time you're hungry, you need only ask to be fed.
Thank you for everything. Thank you.
Okay, I was about to say, your Discord got banned. Are you gonna make like a new account? Can you even make a new account?
Nothing bad, I promise.
This is coming from somebody that's never been banned off something, so I honestly don't know. Yo, you did already. Okay. Do you need the Discord invite to my thing, or I'll just put it up right here. Might as well. I got the time. There you go. You explained everything. Oh my god. It's alright. It's okay. But yeah, welcome back. I guess. I'm surprised you didn't get your Twitch account banned.
I want no trouble.
But you got trouble.
Wait, that's... Oh, glory to Grieger. You were the hanged man.
Gotcha.
Took you for a rogue. If you're a friend of Master Quentin's, then perhaps you'll help me. His vineyard, Lost Wing's pride and joy, has
New
been
account?
beset
Okay.
by a plague of giant wasps. And you need someone to solve your pest problem. I do indeed. I've never seen them so far from the forest, nor so mean.
Sorry, I gotta pause because I'm trying to read and read you as well. How's the game? It's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I'm liking everything about it. So far, you know, I'm not too far into the game. But the world itself is pretty cool. The characters are super likable. You know, coming from the sense that this is a very darker tone for Final Fantasy. But what I've been hearing about this game is that if you ever play Kingdom Hearts or any of the other Final Fantasy games, it's obviously going to go in that direction later on. So I'm very interested to see how it turns into that or just becomes it. But so far, I'm really enjoying the game right now. I'm just doing side quests for the meantime because I haven't done any. And then I'll do some main story stuff. But so far, pretty good. I'm still debating whether or not this is GOATY because obviously I played a bunch of other games this year. So there's that. It's good. Oh yeah, and the combat is pretty fun. So yeah, there's that. If you're interested, check out the podcast. Check out podcast to see my thoughts. Like and subscribe. But yeah, man, how have you been? What have you been playing? What have you been up to since I haven't seen you in a while? I just thought you were quiet for a good bit, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna bother him. But I didn't see that you've been completely gone. That's some goofy shit. Your friend likes these games? I like Final Fantasy for the most part. But I've never played a lot of them, to be honest. And it's funny because I now have all of them because I bought that Pixel Remastered for consoles. So that's a collection that comes with 1 through 6. Obviously I played 7, but funny enough, I played that after 7 Remake. But yeah, 7, 13, 13-2, 15, and that's my extent to Final Fantasy. Oh, and some of the spin-offs. No, that's, yeah, kind of. I would say Stranger of Paradise is a spin-off, but that's not an RPG. RPG, I feel like at this point has become such a loose term for describing a game genre, but don't matter. But yeah, 16 so far has been pretty good. I've been enjoying it. Yeah, there's a lot of FF games, but funny enough, you can get them on modern consoles, which is the good thing. Like, you, except for 13. But from somebody that played 13, you don't really gotta play 13. Unless you really like lightning for some reason. You don't really gotta play 13, to be honest. And then 11 was a online game, so that, I believe, has been dead for a while because the servers are down. And now 14 is like the biggest online thing. But yeah, it's just been that. Yeah, they're MMOs. That's why Final Fantasy 14 is like the biggest online game to this date. Funny enough. So what I know about 14 is, because I wanted to get into 14, but you really need like a group of people to play with, because it is a game that is reliant on the fact that you have a group of people to play with. So 14 is, or 14 original was not a huge success, so they basically revamped it. So now 14 is called A Realm Reborn, and now that has become the biggest thing in the world with like different expansions and updates. And what I've been hearing is that like the storyline for that for that whole game is pretty good. Even the expansions are pretty fun. And the music is like one of the biggest things as to why 14 is like so beloved with a lot of people, is because the music is so good. So this is why 16 was kind of anticipated for a lot of people, and I anticipated it for a good bit, is because it's the director of Final Fantasy 14, and the composer, and I believe some of the writers as well from 14. So what I've been hearing is that the writing in 14 is incredible. So that's why I was interested in 16. But then, you know, watching a little bit of gameplay and stuff like that for 16, I saw that they got like the combat designer, one of the combat designers for Devil May Cry 5 specifically, to be like, hey, come over, make a Final Fantasy game with sick action combos. So that's what happens. So now we have this game where it's like Devil May Cry, if you ever played Devil May Cry. And I feel like with this game, it's a lot more open to people that really never experienced like Final Fantasy, which is funny because 15 was supposed to be the game that, God, I can go through a whole history, because I was a person that was really excited for Final Fantasy 15. But, you know, since you're here and I haven't seen you, fuck it, I guess I'll talk. Yeah, I was creaming on this one a little bit. I was creaming and screaming. Yeah, the music in this is just so good. And the combat is, like I said, it's really fun. The appeal for this game, like its story, is that it's essentially Game of Thrones, but set in Final Fantasy, in the realm of Final Fantasy. So that's the main appeal. And so far, it's been having a lot of Game of Thrones moments, if you ever seen the series or read the books. But yeah, like I was mentioning, is that like this game and 15 were supposed to be like kind of those games that were supposed to appeal to a larger audience, but 15 had a lot of marketing problems and a lot of issues, and it sucks because I really like those characters. I even bought the figures for those characters because that's how much I like them. But it just like I don't know how Kingdom Hearts and these games are even related. So the Kingdom Hearts is a weird one because like it does have Final Fantasy characters, but they're only side characters. They're not as integral to the plot of Kingdom Hearts, which is the funny thing. But Kingdom Hearts is its own can of worms because of its story. But to be fair, Final Fantasy does have moments where it's just like it's just Kingdom Hearts. So it's like it can go into ludicrous directions of like what it's trying to explain sometimes. Funny enough, like Final Fantasy VII, after I played the remake of that, I got into Final Fantasy VII. I played the original. I played the PSP game. I watched Advent Children, which was a movie that takes place after the events of Final Fantasy VII, and it's just this whole thing of like, yeah, kind of explaining the world itself gets really muddled and really fucking confusing. It's just really dumb at times. But Kingdom Hearts, like I said, it has those characters from the Final Fantasy series because they just make cameos and like they're kind of NPCs at times, most of the time. The cool thing is that like you can fight some of the bosses from past Final Fantasy games in Kingdom Hearts, but they're not as like crazy integral to the whole main story. The funny thing is in Final Fantasy, in Kingdom Hearts 3, there were absolutely no Final Fantasy characters in that game at all. And it wasn't until like a DLC that came out that kind of brought back some of those Final Fantasy characters, which was the funny part. It was really goofy. Yuck. Yeah, it's one of those things where and the other thing is that one of the artists / writers of Final Fantasy, Tetsuya Nomura, because there's a lot of writers and a lot of artists for Final Fantasy, but Tetsuya Nomura is like very well known at Square Enix, that he does the character art for Kingdom Hearts. He, is kind of that relation, I guess, with Final Fantasy as well. So you kind of have that because he did like a good amount of Final Fantasy art for a good bit. Why do they make the 0.5? Okay. All right. I kind of understand what you mean. Like with Kingdom Hearts with like the 2.5, the 1.5. So those are just like collections of games, but they're also like enhanced versions of them. Because I think the 2.5 and the 1.5 came out on PS2 like a long time ago. Because they were like called like Final Mix or something like that. And they were essentially just like revamped / re-enhanced versions. Kind of, yeah. They kind of went back to the game and like reworked a couple things into it. So like now that you have like current consoles and you're able to play like 1.5 and 2.5, that is more of a collection of like the earlier Kingdom Hearts games. So like for 1.5, I think it came with Kingdom Hearts 1. Was it Birth by Sleep? It basically is like, if you want to get into Kingdom Hearts, you kind of have to like, it's kind of a good place to start with that collection, like 1.5 and 2.5. But what I've been told, because my friend Wesley, who's also on the podcast, my friend Wesley got really into those games, like really, really into them. And what he was telling me was that like the collections is a good starting point, but it doesn't have everything to it, which is the ironic part. There are some mobile games that came out which really fuck things up, because the mobile games have a lot of lore to them. So that's what he was telling me, was that like the collections have a good amount of stuff in it, but it's not everything there. So that's the one goofy case about it. Yuck. Sorry, I'm gonna keep doing that because Kingdom Hearts. I lost my train of thought because I'm trying to explain Kingdom Hearts. If you have any questions, you can ask Wesley on the Discord. Because I'm not really a good explainer, but I played a good amount of the Kingdom Hearts games. Yes, they did. That is one of the biggest issues of Kingdom Hearts, because that's why a lot of criticism of Kingdom Hearts is that it's hard to keep up with because of stuff like that, because they put very important plot points into the mobile game. There was a funny part when I played Kingdom Hearts 3 where I was just playing it, and then I just meet this like weird like stuffed animal character, and I'm like, oh, that's weird, I don't know this character. And then I talked to my friend Wesley about it, and I'm like, hey, what is up with this character? And he's like, oh, that character's from a mobile game, and apparently that thing is God. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, in the mobile game they explained it. I'm like, how do you know this? He's like, I kind of went in like a whole lore dive. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What is Kingdom Hearts? It was so fucking bizarre, because he's like, yeah, that's just God. It's like, what? Yeah, and then the hilarious thing too is there is a rhythm game that's also has some lore elements to Kingdom Hearts. I think it's like Melody of something. I don't remember. Essentially, yeah. I think at this point, yeah, you should, if you really want to get into Kingdom Hearts, probably watch some more videos. But then that is also the funny thing is that Final Fantasy has that problem as well, because Final Fantasy 7 specifically. So with Final Fantasy, like a lot of people say that like Final Fantasy is not like Kingdom Hearts. No, it is. As somebody that came off like getting into what they called the compilation Final Fantasy 7, which is essentially the stuff that Final Fantasy 7 was involved in, so like a movie, a side story, a mobile game, which is impossible to play now because you have no way of playing it until like recently, where Square Enix was like, oh yeah, by the way, we're bringing back some mobile games. So it's like, okay, I guess. And then obviously the original game and the remake, it's like there's so much stuff from that stuff that you can miss that's so integral to the plot of Final Fantasy 7. And yeah, that was the funny thing, was that like there was a mobile, when I was playing Final Fantasy 7, there was a mobile game that I knew nothing about, and I was trying to figure out, oh, is there a way to kind of play it? And it's like, no, you can't anymore, because there's no app for it, there's nothing. So it's like, oh, okay. And like I said, it wasn't until recent that like Square Enix is like, all right, we're bringing back this mobile game that's been lost to time. So it's like, it's so stupid. But it also has some like lore stuff in it to explain the world of Final Fantasy 7. What does Square Enix be doing? They're trying, they've been failing at doing live service games. That's been Square Enix's whole thing at this point. They've shut down a bunch of live service games. Funny enough. So, because what was the thing? Avengers. Marvel's Avengers. That was their big live service game that they were really trying to put all their money into, and it ended up not working because the servers are shutting down, I believe, in a couple months. So there's that. And then this year as well, they had a game called Babylon's Fall, which I was interested in because the developers for that game was Platinum Games. So they, if you don't know Platinum has made Bayonetta, Wonderful 101. Basically their whole repertoire is action games. So they were doing the some stuff on Babylon's Fall, but that ended up becoming a mess. So but that was an online only game, and then within like I think 6 months of the game's release, they were announcing that the game was shutting down its servers. So that game is dead. It's dead now because its servers shut down in February of this year. What happened to Just Cause? Just Cause, I don't remember if that belongs to Crystal Dynamics or somebody else. I know Square Enix has published it. Did they mobile game as well? I don't know, to be honest. Possibly. There might have been a thing they might have looked at to be like, yeah, let's mobilize everything. Because that was also another thing, was that Square Enix sold a lot of their branch companies as well. Like a lot of their developers, because Crystal Dynamics, they sold off. And it's sad too, because like Crystal Dynamics made the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy game. And that game is actually really good. I really like that game. If you're able to play it, and let's say you're not a huge Marvel fan, it's still pretty enjoyable. It's still a pretty fun game. But yeah, they sold off like a good amount of their IPs as well. So yeah, Crystal Dynamics, Square Enix has been in a really rough area. And funny enough, like Final Fantasy 16 is like the most anticipated thing. Okay, so you'll probably enjoy the game. The game, I was not expecting anything from it. It's alright, I can't English as well. The game, I wasn't really expecting anything from it because I've kind of like lost a good amount of like the Marvel hype. But it is genuinely like really well written and really fun. And I highly recommend listening to the copyrighted music. That's why I didn't stream that game, because it's like I kind of want to listen to the copyright music. But funny enough, there is non-copyrighted music that is meant for streamers. That is this band that they kind of did called Star-Lord, and it's just like they have like rock music, and I hear it's pretty good. So there's a part of me that wants to go back and replay that game with the Star-Lord music. Yeah, there you go. I give you a brief history of Square Enix and Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts within this time in like 20 something minutes. Yeah, it's wild, but I'm anticipating just more good things out of this particular game, because like I said, this is one of my most anticipated games for a good bit for this year, besides Resident Evil 4 remake. And yeah, it's just so far it's been pretty good. But that's what the funny thing is that it's by the people that did Final Fantasy 14. So which one is this one? This one is 16. This is done by the people who did Final Fantasy 14, and 14 has been essentially the only thing that's been allowing Square Enix to make money at this point. Because, you know, people still subscribe to the whole game. And yeah, it's just it's like, what are you gonna do? Not let your biggest moneymaker have any choice? And that's also the thing. That's one of the good parts about it, is that they leave the director of these games, Yoshi P, of this game and Final Fantasy 14 the fuck alone. They don't involve themselves in any of his work. Like, they don't try to like tell him to change anything, or, you know, get into his side of the creative process. They just like, you know what you're doing, go at it, which is okay in my boat. Yeah. So it do be like that sometimes. All right, let's get back into this side quest.
For that matter, I suppose the smell's got 'em worked up. And little...
But that's the funny thing about Square Enix, is because, just coming back to it, that's the funny thing about Square Enix is that they have a tendency to do that, where they try to be really hands-on. And the problem is that that's why a lot of games of theirs fail, or they consider their games failures, is because their expectations of revenue of what was going to be brought back to them is never exceeded or makes that amount. For some reason, they have really high expectations on like the return of their games, that it just doesn't make sense, and then sometimes they just never touch that series ever again. Like, it's happened a couple times where people are like, can you bring back this series? And Square Enix is like, no, because it didn't project that well in earnings. So, but like I said, their expectations for certain games is wild sometimes. It is wild. Yeah, it's really fucky. It's really sad too. And, you know, that's why the only thing that they have that's super big is Final Fantasy. That's why it's the only big thing. And what sucks even more is that, like, they've been looking at NFT stuff. Like, they've been looking at the crypto market, thinking that they can make money from that. So they've made investments into like acquiring certain studios that work on crypto games. But it's just like, crypto stuff now is like in such a volatile state that it's like, it's not going to work out, which is the wild thing, is that like they're really pushing money into it. I don't know. Like, that's been kind of like a little bit of their focus currently, is like looking into NFT and crypto stuff. Like, the thing that made me like really sad is they have a figure line. Like, Square Enix has figures, and I was really interested in this Cloud figure, which was like a render of like the original game, where he's like polygonal, and I was like, oh, look, cool, that seems cool. And then later did I find out that like apparently if you buy the thing, the figure, it comes with like a little QR thing that basically is your token that for like their crypto stuff that they were trying to do. And it's just like, ugh, that's gross. Like, that's really gross. Like, they were trying a lot of like where they're still trying to do a lot of like goofy things. And yeah, it's just like my expectations of Square Enix is just like, it's just become neutral. It's only like games like this where I'm actually excited for. But yeah, man, it's really sad. It's really gross and really sad. Yeah, they're really not. So far there hasn't been too much word on if they're still going into that whole crypto thing, but from what I remember is that like there was a New Year's letter that came out, I think from this year, where like the president of Square Enix was like, yeah, we're gonna look more and try to like research more into like the crypto market, and yeah, that's gonna be our somewhat of our main focus. And people were like, God fucking damn it. Like, God damn it. And yeah, nobody wants that, because those fucking blockchain games and just like, oh yeah, that's what they're looking at as well, like trying to do blockchain games, and just like nobody wants that. People who play video games don't want that. Only weird crypto bros want that. Fucking weirdo crypto bros be like, check out this game, I could make money from it. And it's like, shut up, idiot. Sorry, I hate those fucking crypto bros. So yeah, it do be like that. It's not that hard? Yeah, it's not that hard. It really isn't. It really is not that hard to avoid crypto shit. But, you know, corporate gonna be corporating. So that's always the harsh truth, is that corporate people be corporating. Yeah. So that Final Fantasy to crypto. Unfortunately, that's how this conversation kind of like branched into, because all because of Square Enix. So yeah.
Wonder, this'll be the finest crop we've ever known if the fiends don't eat it first. I tried chasing them off myself, but they won't flee from the likes of me. And if I don't bring those grapes in for pressing soon, Master Quinton will have my guts for garters. You look like you can handle that blade of yours. Will you put it to use for a comrade in need? Please, rid us of these wasps so I can be about my business.
Yeah, I'll take care of the wasps.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll see to it.
Corporate be corporating.
Thank you. You'll find them over at Gotan's Bales on the edge of town. And hurry, Lostwing needs those grapes.
And it's funny too, because it's like, it's a lot of Japanese companies that either have like, they try to look really far into the future thinking that certain things will work out for them, but then you also have some companies that are kind of just really far behind, i.e. fucking Nintendo, that, you know, people still pay for their stuff, but they just never look forward.
Don't tell me. Turnips for supper.
Like Konami is like a huge example of like a business that like was huge in the video game market, and then decided, yeah, we're just gonna stop and focus on pachinko machines, on gambling. And it's just like, what? And mobile games, and it's like, okay. And then it wasn't until like this year where Konami's like, yeah, we're back to making video games.
A few wasps shouldn't give me too much trouble.
But that's also the funny thing, is that like they were also looking at like NFT and like crypto stuff as well during their time of like gambling stuff. And I think they did it at a really bad time when they were deciding to do gambling stuff, because it was during the time where the pandemic was happening. So obviously I think this is why they came back, was because like they need to make that money back. But yeah, Nintendo is something as well. I think the biggest thing with Nintendo is that like their game preservation is like one of the worst. Oh yeah, as a fellow emulator man, there were just moments where I was just like, I want to play this Nintendo game, but there's no way of playing it unless Nintendo allows it to be out in their market.
Better let Quentin's man know.
And even then, like, I felt bad for like the dude, because there was a website that I used to frequent to a lot, that had a lot of ROMs in it, and I felt really bad for the guy that had the website because Nintendo gave him I think he has to pay Nintendo back because Nintendo has bigger lawyers, but it was just a dude that's like, I wanted to make this website because he was living in like another country, and he's like, there were a lot of games that like were not available to him, and on top of that were way too fucking expensive. So even now, like, retro game shit now is just like way too fucking expensive. So he's like, I just wanted to create a website that like had a good amount of games that people can just enjoy, and he's like, I'm not selling it. And that's the problem with Nintendo, is that Nintendo thinks that these people are making money off these games, when in reality they're not. They're just games being downloaded and not being resold, because emulation is lawful. To be honest, it's a lawful thing that you can do, but I think it's more of a business opportunity for Nintendo to be like, hey, this is a money opportunity we could be doing if we could bring these old games back. So let's monetize on that, and also try to stop these people who are getting these games for free, essentially. It's all really shitty. And, there are people who are huge Nintendo fans that be like, Nintendo can't do anything wrong. And then it's like, do you know their business practices? Yeah, it's insane. It's ass backwards. And a lot of people who play games understand that, or like kind of keep up with like the business side of video games, being like, yeah, it's fucked up. That's why at this point now, there's like so many people being like, if Nintendo doesn't allow these games to like happen, or some companies that just straight up refuse to re-release games, you have every right to pirate them. Like, that's some people's sentiment on the whole thing. It's like, fuck it, fuck them. And it's like the whole thing with, like I said, with game preservation is just like, some companies just don't preserve their stuff. Konami is like a big one, as speaking of them.
With your harvest anymore.
Oh, thank you. Master Quentin would have had my head if I'd lost the crop. I'd say you've earned a reward. Our Gotand Rouge fetches a handsome price among the rich and powerful of the realm. We use that money to keep our comrades fed and imperial wolves from our door. The vineyards were Master Quentin's idea. He wanted to give bearers a place to work, a place where they'd be safe.
Well, he certainly seems to have done that here. I'm glad I could help.
I'll see that he hears of your kindness. And once this vintage is ripe for drinking, there'll be a glass or two raised in your honor.
Thanks. Get drunk. Get crunk on the wine. Yeah, I mean, Insomniac has been pretty good at most part. It's just Sony that's the only issue as well. Sony has a huge fucking shit ton of problems. Because, they own IPs and they just don't allow them. It's not until like recently where like stuff is coming to PC. Funny enough. Which I'm really happy for that, This is what I hate, man. This is the shit that I hated for years, is the fucking console war bullshit. It's some of the stupidest shit in the world. I'm just happy if people can play these fucking games, and that's it. So I can talk to other people and be like, hey, did you play fucking Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart? Oh yeah, I played it on my PC. I'm like, yeah, I played it on PS5. Did you enjoy the game? Yeah, it's a conversation that you can have with another person instead of being locked behind a fucking console and then being like, no, Xbox good because it has an X on it. Sorry, that's my console fanboy voice. But it's so dumb. It's so dumb. But yeah, like, it wasn't until recently like Sony and Microsoft decided to, yeah, let's put some shit on PC. And so far it's been working out on them. It's been working out. Yeah, it's so dumb. It's really, really dumb. I hate the console war bullshit. But yeah, I mean, I like Insomniac. I like their games. I wish there was a HD remaster of like all the Ratchet and Clank games on PS5. That would be a dream. But still, I have my PS3. I'm able to go back and play those games, which is a good part, until my PS3 fucking dies on me, which I feel like it will eventually. So the weird thing is that, like, you can play PS3 games, but you have to do that whole streaming thing, that PlayStation Now shit, and it's not that good. Yeah, that's the only thing. PlayStation Now is not that good. Yeah, and the only thing for actually, oh my god, it's on PS Plus, but that's only for Ratchet and Clank, the PS4 game, is it not? And Rift Apart, possibly, I think. Like, I'm talking about, like, the original, like, Ratchet and Clank 1 through 3, and then the PS3 games, like, those you cannot play. Oh, okay. Don't get... It's a shitty streaming service. Don't me when it's fucking down in reality. Fucking, it's a shitty streaming service. No, I refuse. I reject your hypothesis. Yeah, it's not that good. And it's unfortunate too. Like I said, I want like a good amount of PS3 games to come to this current generation, because like a lot of good PS3 games are stuck behind, stuck on that console, like Infamous, and stuck on that fucking shitty streaming service as well. Like Infamous 1 and 2, I would love to play those games on PS5 at like a pretty good frame rate and not a screen tearing frame rate. Because that was the one thing about PS3 games, is that there's a lot of screen tearing, and like being so spoiled on like current console games and also PC gaming, it's just like, oh my god, my eyes my eyes hurt whenever I see screen tearing. Yeah, that age of gaming was wild. Yeah. Anyways, Final Fantasy. It's like part of the experience. Yeah, I guess. You know, it reminds you of the good old times of like when people weren't so crazy about like performance and graphical fidelity, except if you were on PC. But yeah. All right. So what am I doing? Where am I going? Who am I? What am I? There is a side quest over at Martha's Rest. And at the Hideaway as well. But you know what? Yeah, let's do main stuff. But to be fair, like, you know, once you get to like obviously this generation of consoles, and it wasn't until this generation where people were like, yo, performance is actually really important to games. And PC people have been saying that for years, which is the honest thing. And like I said, it wasn't till I got like a better performing PC where I was like, yeah, playing PC games at a good performance and also a good visual quality is like the shit. It's really good. But like I said, you can get spoiled on that stuff. You know, you don't know until you have it, essentially. God damn that move. Thanks, I leveled up. That was really abrupt. Yeah, that is a fair thing, because I'm very nitpicky with a lot of things at this point when it comes to gaming. But if a developer has the ability to be like, hey, we can do performance and graphical options, I would be like, yeah, fuck it, go for it. And they're like, oh yeah, but we need more development time, I'll be like, yeah, sure, have more development time. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because the new car comes with all these features and all these things of like these little luxury things that you're really like, oh shit, I've been missing out on this. It's pretty fucking good. And then you go back and you're like, I'm kind of missing heated seats. You know? I really wish I had a navigation. Yeah. And that's the thing, yeah. There's nothing wrong with going back as well, because some people, like I said, some people can go back and be like, hey, like, it was good. for its time. It was good for its time. I can appreciate these things. But yeah. Like I said, man, if you once you get into PC gaming, you'll get it. You'll be like, Chonch was right. Holy shit, I killed that wolf. You're like, dear Chonch boy was right. Chonch knew who he was talking about. He knows his dumb gaming shit. Not really, but still. Yeah, man. Yeah.
The soldiers used to speak of a brothel, but that was north of the checkpoint. I hope the dame has friends in the south.
Wait, I thought Jill was with me. Is it just Torgal? I think it's just Torgal. Okay, so this is the thing. I get criticized because Howler and Wesley play PC, and they play with keyboard and mouse most of the time. I am a loser, and I still play with controller. I bought like a Xbox controller to play with my PC, so it's like, if a game supports controller support, it's like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna fucking use the controller so I can just lay back and relax at my computer screen. Or, you know, even now I have my PC connected to my TV, so if like there's moments where I just want to like chill on my bed, I could just do that. You know, but there are some little complications with like, you know, display options and stuff like that where it's all kinds of fucky, but that's besides the point. But there are games on PC where it's like, you kind of have to use keyboard and mouse, like you really have no choice. Because those games are optimized for PC instead of controllers. But, you know, I usually like when a game has controller support, so I could just be like, I'm playing on my Xbox controller with no care in the world. But I get criticized for that because I'm a console boy. But even then, like, if there's a game that like, yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, it's just play style. And those fuckers play League, so I don't care. Those fucking degenerates play League. But you know, if there's a game that I'm just like, you know what, I want to try it on keyboard and mouse, yeah, I'll try it on keyboard and mouse. It wasn't until like recently I played a game on keyboard and mouse that just came out this year. It's the System Shock remake. Like, it's a FPS game that I played with keyboard and mouse, and like, for the most part, I was having a pretty good time with it.
For the apple of your eye.
Keep your hands to yourself. No one will buy anything that's been soured by a branded's touch.
What? What'd you
Keep your
say?
hands to yourself. No one will buy
No,
anything
I
that's been
heard
soured
that.
by a branded's touch.
I'm gonna jump on your shit. Fuck you.
With the right to confiscate any objects forbidden by the throne.
Can I go in?
Not another step, branded, or you'll be spending the night in a cell.
I can't go in. Alright, so I have to look for somebody. Oh, there we go.
The fruit's not getting any fresher.
You say these are all from Dalmekia?
They play Fortnite? That was terrible playing on a school computer. Is this the dame? Yeah, I do get that sometimes with some wrist pains. But I did buy a cushion for my keyboard.
A moment.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Afford even that much of my time. Branded.
My mistake.
No, mine. Upon reflection, you don't have the scent of a branded about you.
Is it because of my huge
The
chest?
flowers,
Don't ogle
what
me,
I
woman.
always did know how to please me. More than Sid ever did anyway. Do you think you could please me, Clive?
You're the dame.
Yeah, I know. Chest
Let
has
us leave
chest.
such
Chest has a big old Clive.
personal titles to my less preferred.
Sorry, I was distracted by Clive's giant tits.
You can call me Isabel. Otto assured me I could trust you. I can trust you, can't I?
You can trust me, yes, but why would you?
Help you? Because that's what we do. Long ago, Sid did me a kindness when no one else would. I have never forgotten that. Without it, I would not be where I am today. And so, I make it a point to do the same whenever possible. Which brings us here.
It does. Active time lore, excuse me. Let's see. Isabel, proprietress of the Vale, Northreach's foremost house of ill repute, and one of Sid's trusted collaborators. Isabel is much admired by the populace for her elegance and refinement qualities that have earned her the title of the Dame. Sidolphus Telamon, leader of the Hideaway of the Dominant Rama, Warden of Thunder. In his quest to create a world where bearers and dominants can die on their own terms, he unearthed a shocking truth, that the Mother Crystals were the cause of the all-consuming blight. He makes plans to see the Mothers fall, and Valistia and her people might be saved. Northreach, a town which doubles as a defensive gateway to Sambrick's holy capital of Oriflame. It was originally a purely military outpost, a towering bastion constructed to prevent land-based assaults on the capital from the southwest. To this day, a heavily guarded checkpoint ensures that none can pass through the wall without prior authorization, and as such, the need to linger here prior to entering has led to the rise of a thriving market and various other commercial enterprises on the wall's southern side. The garrison, however, along with the inns and brothels most of the soldiers frequent, as well as the residencies of the noble who make Northreach their home, remain on the northern side. There we go. I like this active time lore stuff.
To the final obstacle between you
I gotta take a break and
whatever it is you
eat these fruits that I brought with me.
The holy capital. I fear the guards are not likely to let a masterless bearer pass unmolested. Unless... Unless, of course, his master deigned to appear. Yes, that will do nicely.
Do not objectify me, woman.
I shall expect a favor in return.
Wait, what?
Be gentle, please. Alright. I'm gonna eat my fruits, but I'm gonna close my my camera thing so it doesn't become a gift. But you can hear me. You probably hear like some sounds of me eating the fruits. I'm still here. I'm just eating plums. It's pretty good. Like I said, you'll probably be hearing me eating. I want a BRB. It's alright. I'm eating plums. Like I'm still here, but like, you know, if you want to tell me about stuff that you've been playing or watching or whatever, or anime, I'll probably respond. I just want me eating to become a GIF. and I don't want to hear I don't want like the slurping noises to become a ASMR stream. Alright, I'm back. I had to eat my plums. Is it weird that the fact that like I'm already in my late 20s and I'm just finding out that plums are just essentially just big grapes? Like, it's pretty sad. Got me some water. Alright, let's get back to it. Don't hurt me, lady. He's an innocent boy.
What the hell are you doing?
Tut tut. We cannot have people thinking I tolerate disobedience from my branded.
The men who gave me this are no more my masters than you are. But it's not as if I can hide it.
From the moment you acquired it, that brand has done naught but take. But today, it is going to give you exactly what you want. Just play along.
Madame, back to the Vale already?
But of course, we must make ready to welcome you, my dear.
And who might this be?
Why, my new escort. The streets aren't safe for a girl, what with all the royalists about.
Well, don't work him too hard.
Well, that rather depends on you now, doesn't it? I'll see you all at sunset.
Oi, hold up. Another fucking branded. Well, you're lucky you're with the dame. Now get out of my sight, filth.
Damn.
That wasn't so bad.
Wasn't so bad. They might have recognized me.
But they didn't. And even if they had, they wouldn't have done anything about it. The gentlemen of the garrison are some of my best customers. We have an arrangement, as do you and I. Now, if you'd care to follow me, we can speak more at the Vale.
Doesn't seem like I have much of a choice.
And if anyone requests her company, tell them she is feeling unwell.
Madame, you look stunning.
As do you, my dear.
Shall I have one of the girls draw a bath?
That won't be necessary. Clive, my darling, welcome to the Vale.
Thank you for seeing me through the gates, my lady. I am in your debt.
Well, that was the whole point, wasn't it? And I told you, it's Isabel. Whatever wound you so tight, I wonder. It's certainly not Sid's influence.
Nope, that's just how he is.
You, mentioned a favor. What is it you'd have me do?
I'm scared.
Don't want to keep my companions waiting.
If you mean Sid and the girl, you needn't worry. They have yet to reach the checkpoint. Yes, Otto asked me to help them as well. But to answer your question, I need you to find someone for me. One of my girls. Tatienne has been gone for several days now, having left no word of explanation. And I've begun to fear the worst.
I feel as if I've spent my whole life searching for people. Though I can't say I'm any good at it.
I trust you'll do your best. Oh, and take this.
Cool.
Proof of that trust. And hopefully enough to keep prying eyes from looking too closely at that handsome face of yours. Now, I have matters to attend to at the Iron Flagon. If you find anything, ask for me there.
I should probably start here.
You wear the dame's brooch. She must trust you.
Enough to have me look for one of your colleagues. A woman by the name of Tatienne.
She's still missing then? Oh, if only I'd comforted her.
You saw her before she disappeared.
The day before, she was in tears. She'd lost her comb, a gift from the dame. It wasn't anything fancy, but you could tell it meant the world to her. You see, Tatienne was an orphan, and she looked upon the dame as a mother, as do we all.
So she was upset.
And I didn't lend her my shoulder. But perhaps someone else did. Tatienne shared a room. Her chambermaid may have seen something. She's over there, sitting by the pond.
Thank you. Let's see what her chambermaid can tell us then.
So you're the new escort the girls have been talking about. And you've already been sent off on an errand, eh? Poor boy. You'll be knackered before the real work begins later on tonight.
I'm told you share a bedchamber with Tatienne. Did she say anything to you before?
Before she went missing. Only that she needed to meet with someone. She didn't mention a name, but I know exactly who she meant.
You do?
Lad from the garrison. Annoying little shit. Spent every gil he earned on Tatienne, and picked fights with anyone else who tried to buy her time. Followed her around like a lost puppy. Tatienne was flattered at first, but it didn't take long for her to get scared. She thought about saying something. But the dame was so proud of her for how much she was bringing in, and she didn't want to let her down.
This man from the garrison. Did you ever see him?
Of course I did. He tried to sneak into our room enough times. Slimy sod's got a scar over one eye. Claims he got it in battle.
You've been very helpful.
Don't let him get away with this. Find him, and you'll find her.
A man from the garrison. Seems a trip to the barracks is in order.
Side quests. There's a bunch of side quests.
Excuse me, you there? The gentleman? I cannot help but notice you bear the moon and stars. So you are an associate of the dame's? Might I trouble you for some assistance? You'll be rewarded, of course.
And who exactly would I be assisting?
Oh, forgive me. I am Etienne, a humble merchant, though fortunate enough to count the dame among my acquaintances.
Excuse me.
I have business beyond these walls, but the guards have grown somewhat suspicious of my comings and goings of late. I was hoping someone might be kind enough to go in my stead. And who better than someone in the employ of the Vale's proprietress? Would you be willing to help a fellow in his hour of need?
Why not?
Why not?
Marvelous. The task is simple enough. Pass through the gate and deliver packages to a few of my most valued clients. There are 3 in total. A grocer, an apothecary, and a distiller. You need only mention that the items you carry are fresh from the master's table.
Nothing dangerous, I hope.
Why, of course not. Merely trifles which folk beyond the checkpoint are keen to get their hands on. And though I cannot prevent you from peeking, I advise that you don't. Strongly advise.
Oh, the markets are up.
That's the day done then.
Drinks.
With the right to confiscate any objects. Spices from the far
Fresh
away...
fish! All from the same price this very...
I warn you now. I don't sell to your kind, whether you have the coin or not. Where's your master, anyway?
Etienne sent me.
Didn't know he had his own bearer. Business must be booming. All right, quickly now, before the guards notice. That isn't a burden off my back. And this is for Etienne.
All this for a drink?
Not just any drink. The very best. Specially distilled for my most discerning customers. The guards find that, they'll seize it before you can blink. You keep it well hidden, all right? If Etienne likes it, tell him there's more where that came from. For a price, of course.
Of course.
You there! Fancy a drop of the Empire's finest?
No one's allowed through the
Fruit's
gate.
not getting any fresher.
Oh, however do they get that?
There's nothing here for your kind, Branded. Go on now. Shoot.
I have a delivery from Etienne. Fresh from the master's table.
Why didn't you say so? Times are hard. But this here'll make 'em less so. For a while at least. Sorry about the welcome. Meant nothing by it. You wait right here. Here. You can tell Etienne I'm a man of my word.
Perfume.
Oriflamme's finest. Just as promised.
Each one is handcrafted. The finest.
I have no business with Branded.
Well, I have business with you. A package. Fresh from the master's table.
I do not know you. Where is the merchant, Etienne?
Somewhere the gate guards won't be paying him or his affairs any mind.
Fine. Hand over the goods and be gone. This is lighter than usual. Branded, if I discover you have played me false...
I can always take it back.
You will do no such thing. Your master should cut out your insolent tongue.
Jesus.
If you'd been the tool of any other man, I would see you clapped in chains. Payment. Take it and get out of my sight.
Cigars.
Those cigars are worth more than your life. Do be careful.
Perfume, cigars, and spirits. Someone has expensive tastes.
I'm just so surprised.
How can they afford to maintain them? I suppose there's only one way to find out.
Do you see anything you like?
I'm just so surprised that Clive is able to just hold his tongue. 'Cause holy shit.
I'll be here if you need me.
That dude was a fucking prick.
That's the day done then.
Ah, you have returned. I believe these are yours. Delightful. The dame will be pleased. You don't say. And would she be pleased to learn what you had to exchange for those items? You mean the crystals? No need to be coy, my boy. Why not just tell me in the first place? An honest man wears deception like shackles about his ankles. I couldn't risk you stumbling under the gaze of the guards. After all, we both know the punishment for dealing in unsanctioned crystals. even such morsels as I provide. And if you don't know what this day's work may have cost you, then, well, I dare say you'll sleep all the better for it. Despite the risk, our friends beyond the wall gladly give their finest and most treasured wares for the paltry crumbs I trade in.
I didn't realize crystals were so scarce here.
As scarce as chocobo teeth, hence the thriving market for even the scantest fragments. Do you think it vulgar that I profit from the hardship of others?
Yes.
I think you're doing what you believe is necessary.
You're evil.
Indeed. And I don't doubt the dame would agree. A reward for a job well done. I have the goods I was commissioned to gather, and the guards are none the wiser. I thank you, as will our mutual friend when she hears of how you have aided me.
Side quests.
Sergeant's got it in for us. Where's your commanding officer, Branded? Don't you know the training grounds are for real soldiers?
Well, you lost or something? Sorry, but the Imperial Guard's got no use for your kind. The infantry always needs more bodies, though.
I'm just passing through.
Don't bloody believe it! The bastard's wearing the moon and stars!
That'll be why he's strutting about like he owns the place.
The Dane laughed when we offered her our protection. You reckon this prick's really worth a couple of the Emperor's finest?
The
I
voice.
dare say there's ways of finding out.
Oh, you want to fight?
How about it, Branded? Care to show us how you earned that brooch?
I'd rather not.
Oh, no doubt. Only chivalrous souls that we are, Robin and I need to know the dame's being properly looked after.
Fine. Let's go, bitch.
Fine. If it'll put your mind at ease.
Oh, and just so you know, I won't be holding back. I suggest you don't either. Take a moment to get ready if you need it. Wouldn't want you whining about an unfair fight.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Now,
If that's what you want.
cocky bastard. All right, let's be having you. Oh, and when you go crying to your mistress, tell her it was Leon who gave you the pounding. Use all the dirty tricks you want, Brandon. Alright, so you know what?
Didn't even let him finish.
Fuck me.
What the hell are you playing at, Leon? Ah, so it's a real challenge he wants, is it? Fine.
Dude.
Sword up, bearer. Let's have some fun, shall we?
Prepared to die.
Well, a bearer, win the Dane's favour anyway.
I know when to hold my tongue for a start.
You got potential. I give you that.
They got fucked up. What did you expect, idiots?
Can I go now?
Grieger's gas. The bastard didn't even break a sweat.
The dame's man or no, he's still a Branded. Best hope the sergeant never hears about this.
Yeah, not after the bollocking he gave us for missing drills. Might be the old sod had a point.
I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, good bloody riddance. At least we know the dame's in safe hands, I suppose.
Do us a favour. If you have to tell the dame about this, tell her we got a good few hits in, eh?
That's my thing, is that, like, they know these people have the ability to fucking kill them, but they treat them like lessers, which is the wildest shit. Branded.
I don't know how a bearer came by the moon and stars, but thank goodness I found you. Can I trust you to be discreet?
About what?
About this. About what I wish to ask of you. About the fact that I, a humble creature, assist the Dame of the Vale in her endeavors. As unlikely as it may seem, there are those within the upper echelons of Samberquois society who find the Empire's treatment of bearers to be barbaric.
All right. But what do you want from me?
This town is carried upon the backs of its bearers, and yet many would see their servants starve. Not for the want of coin, simple fare cost little more than a pittance, but to revel in the suffering of others, a simple act of cruelty. Contemptible though it is, my countrymen would sooner cut off their noses to spite their faces than see their bearers fed. And despite my best attempts at secrecy, my efforts to dole out comestibles have been noticed. Which brings me to my request. The brand upon your cheek affords you a certain freedom. A freedom I could sorely use.
Fine. What do you need me to do?
Oh, thank you. An extra meal may not seem like much, but it will make all the difference. Here, deliver these, but keep them hidden. Quickly now. What food I can provide goes where the need is greatest. And today that happens to be the barracks. 3 bearers, overworked and underfed, not permitted a moment's rest.
It's no wonder so many die before their time.
Tragic, true, but do not let anger make you careless. People will view this act of mercy as an undermining of the Empire's authority. Be discreet for both our sakes, and for the sake of those we feed. Oh, and when you're finished, a word in the ear of one of the Dame's girls would be appreciated.
You won't be staying, then?
I'm afraid not. I'm expected back in the capital, and have already risked much speaking with you this long.
Crystal's curse is bad enough. We can't let people starve as well.
Are you waiting for it to heal on its own? Hurry up!
Looks like now's not the time.
It's not been half the moon since Bellin's tour.
I have something for you.
From the Chamberlain. Thank you. You need to leave. Now. Please.
Branded! Who told you to rest? Stoke those damn flames!
Oh yeah, it's affecting
And
her.
you, if you've got a message for me, out with it. If not, return to your post.
You look like you need a rest. half as much as I need this. Thank you. I daren't eat it here, though. Not where anyone might see.
Has it always been this bad?
Oh, it was worse before the Chamberlain. I'd be dead without him. Me and many others.
That's something at least.
Enough! Curse you! Get away from me! You'll work faster next time if you know what's good for you!
Here. It looks like you need it.
The Chamberlain must have sent you, but alas, my work is far from over. If I don't go now, they'll beat me.
Jesus.
To rest.
But I won't. I've wounds to heal and bones to mend.
And what of your own hurts?
They'll wait. As will my hunger. Thank you, though.
A drover has more regard for his cattle than the Empire does its bearers. Anyway, I'd better head to the Vale.
Heard the bones fell favourably.
I'm looking for a man with a scar over his eye.
Looking for a man? Does this look like a brothel, Branded? Fuck off!
Hold your tongue. He wears the dame's brooch. One word from him and the Vale's doors will be barred to us for good.
There's only one man in the garrison with a dodgy eye. His name's Yannick. I haven't seen him around lately, though.
On account of him being in Moor. Yannick left a few days back. Said he had dealings with a merchant there.
The dame thanks you. Moor is the last village on the road to Oriflamme. I should let Isabel know where I'm headed.
Clive, tell me you bear good tidings.
That remains to be seen.
Oh, Tatiane, you could have told me.
This Yannick. The soldiers I spoke to believe he's in the village of Moor. According to them, he claimed to have some business with a merchant there. Though that wouldn't explain his continued absence.
And you plan on traveling to Moor to ascertain the truth?
Isn't that what you want?
Oh, it is, but I fear sending you there may cause more harm than good. The people of Moor are rather set in their ways. You'll find they have little love for bearers, and they will not hesitate to report one such as you to the constabulary. There is a man in Moor who owes me a favor. More than one, in fact. His name is Bertrand, and he works at the stables. Tell him I sent you.
I shall return as soon as I find something.
Alright.
That's the date on that.
I'm doing a lot of side quests. I might as well do a good amount of them.
All right. Are you here for business or pleasure?
Business, though not my own. The Chamberlain put me to work delivering food.
Ah, so he found someone to help him then. Just as well. I hear his friends back at court have been taking a little too much interest in him of late.
So he really is a Chamberlain.
There was a time when he was the Vale's most illustrious customer. Us girls thought of him as a generous uncle. He was one of the only people round here who seemed bothered by the way the Empire treats its bearers.
Rare for one in his position.
A fact not wasted on the dame. A little nudge from her is all it took, and he became the patron saint of Northreach's starving masses. My sisters and I may have lost an uncle, but bearers are being fed for a change, so we don't grumble. Much.
Glad to hear it.
Gives you faith, though, doesn't it? To know there are people out there like him. And you, for that matter. It's no wonder the dame's got a soft spot for you.
I better be going.
I'm scared. Was there more side quests?
Well then, I suppose you'll need a little something to remember me by.
And I suppose I'll need to get my coin purse.
Yeah, we'll head to Martha's Rest. Alright, side quests.
I have to find him. Can't talk now, Oh, you're Clive, aren't you? Martha told me all about you. Word is you're a devil with that blade.
You look like you're in a hurry. Where are you going?
Not far, I hope. But I dare not waste a moment. It might cost a man his life.
Sounds serious. What happened?
It's not so much what happened as what might. They've discovered he's a bearer, see? And now, one of his erstwhile friends and neighbors wants to see him clapped in chains.
Where is this bearer?
He wasn't fool enough to wait for the Imperials to arrive. Poor sod took to the road, left his whole life behind. But they'll be after him before long. I need to find him and get him to safety, fast. Here. If you've the time and the inclination, I could do with a hand. Will you help me find him?
Of course. We bearers have to look out for each other.
Thank you, Clive. With your help, we might catch up with him yet. His name's Norris. We need to find him and get him to Martha before the Imperials sniff him out.
You found him yet? You won't catch a bastard standing around clucking like old hens. That fucking snake played me false, acted like he was one of us, and the old time he was one of them. We need him caught and handed over to the Imperials. Hanging's too good for him. Well, go on then. If he gets away, I'll see you fitted for a noose.
All right, Ronald. We were just leaving. Look, this one's here to help. I was just filling him in.
Ha! Send a bearer to catch a bearer, is it? Not bloody likely. That's it. I'll find the bastard myself.
Come on now, Ron. It's dangerous out there. We wouldn't want you to come to any harm.
You want something done right, you don't send a bearer.
Clive, this might take a while. You start hunting our man, and I'll be along once I put Ronald's mind at ease. Someone said they saw Norris heading for the Fallen Gate. Maybe you could ask if anyone over that way knows anything. We have to find him. Don't let him slip through our grasp.
I'd better find this Norris before Ronald takes matters into his own hands. Bearers are hardly difficult to spot. What did he mean about being played false, I wonder? You don't know a man called Norris, do you?
I do, as it happens. He ran off that way not too long back. Looked like he was in a right old hurry. And he had a lantern with him for some reason. Never known him to stay out after dark.
He was making for the marshes then. All right. Thank you. He can't have got far. I better keep my eyes peeled.
Damn it.
A lantern. The one Norris was carrying, no doubt. At least I know which way he went. Someone made short work of them. I wonder if that someone was Norris.
That's Norris, but hold on. Okay.
Norris, I presume.
Leave me be.
You were never branded. So that's how you stayed hidden.
Ronald sent you after me, did he? Set an Imperial dog on his best friend. And when we were so close. I'll never forget the hatred in his eyes. But it doesn't matter now. I will not become a slave. As one bearer to another, please. Don't do this. You know how they treat our kind.
Ronald didn't send me. One of Martha's men did. He wanted to make sure you were safe.
I don't understand.
Martha takes in bearers. She's a friend. You can trust her. Believe me.
I never knew. I can't say I'm surprised, though. She has a kind heart. Kinder than most.
Yeah, kinder than fucking Ronald.
You'll be among friends soon enough.
Thank you. There's few would have been so kind. And sorry. You're no Imperial dog. Far from it.
I've been called worse. Oh, I found a lantern back there. I assume it's yours.
Thanks. I dropped it when those creatures attacked me. But if I'm honest, I wasn't all that sorry to be rid of it. Ron gave it to me.
All right. I'll keep hold of it. I might be able to use it to put an end to the Imperial surge before it begins. A bearer without a brand. To have lived free for so many years. Only to be betrayed by a friend.
That does fucking suck. All right.
I'll be fuck.
There you are, Clive. How goes the search?
Well branded. Have you found the bastard yet?
God, I don't like your
What was
tone, bro.
left of him? A corpse, torn apart by monsters. And this.
Let me see that. No. It can't be.
Shall we consider that the end of the matter, then? Or do you need to see a body?
No. I mean, I've no use for bearer bones. He's dead. Let that be an end to it. Only wish those whose job it was had done what they were supposed to do and spotted him sooner. Letting a bearer go about without a brand? It's not right, I tell ya. Who'll want anything to do with me now, eh? There goes the bearer lover, they'll say. I'll be a laughing stock.
Damn, dude. You got problems.
Is it true, Clive? Is Norris really...
He's alive. You'll find him in a hut in the marshes. He's expecting you.
Oh, you crafty. Still, you did the right thing. Thank you. It's not much considering, but please, take this.
hear you're that bearer who works for Martha, aren't you? Can you give me a hand? Curse my luck, I dropped my crystal off a cliff into the bloody swamp like an utter fool. Now, I've not got your knack, see, and I need that shard to chill my fish if I'm to take him to market. It's just a short climb down, I'll make it worth your while.
I can't promise anything.
Well, just promise you'll look. There may be one thing I failed to mention about the crystal. A creature might have already claimed it.
Claimed it?
All right, eaten it, but only might have, you understand. There were a lot of bog crabs down there. Nasty buggers, them.
Sounds like I need to break a few shells.
Oh, don't worry, there weren't too many of them. A veritable walk in the marsh, as they say. The ladder's right over there.
Never heard of crabs eating crystal. This should be interesting.
Damn it. The crab, my greatest enemy.
Over here. This must be it. No point spending any more time down here than I have to.
Well, any luck?
Yours, I presume.
It's gross. Smells like crab, but not in a good way.
Oh, thank you. Any longer out in the sun and my catch would have made for poor eating indeed.
Be more careful next time.
Oh, I will, I promise. No point casting my nets of a morning if I'm without a crystal to see the catch to town. There was a time honest tax-paying folk could get new ones whenever they wanted. Can't now, though, not for love nor money. Crystals are scarce, and the Empire tightens its purse strings more every day. Lose this little beauty again, and I might as well scrap my nets and take to begging.
Nice. Money.
The tavern. It's done. I've seen your face before. You're a friend of Martha's. Help us, I beg you.
Help you with what?
Bandits in the Golden Stables. They're waving their swords around. I think they're gonna kill someone. When I saw what was happening, I slipped out the back. I should have stayed, but... Oh, please help them.
All right. I'll see to your problem.
Thank you.
How many were there?
I was out of the door too fast to count. They looked a nasty bunch, though. Be careful in there, all right?
Oh, that's why people were staring?
Ha! Golden Stables my ass. All Martha's hiding back here is coppers. Huh? Oh, that's a fine sword, friend. Heavy, though, I expect.
What say we relieve you of it?
How about you relieve my nuts?
Get him, lads. I want that plate.
Let's get this over with.
Stay down. It's over.
That ability is way too fucking good.
I'll be keeping my blade, thank you.
There he is, the hero of the Golden Stables.
People will think twice about pushing us around again, thanks to you. We're lucky you were nearby. No good cowards wouldn't have dared set foot in the place if I'd been here, of course.
But you weren't. I thought you told me you had someone watching the place.
The Blood Axes keep an eye on the tavern, yeah. When they're not busy keeping the peace, that is. I've spread them as thin as they'll go. The Empire might be in charge, but that don't mean they care to keep us safe. If it weren't for the Blood Axes and me, merchants won't come near these lands for fear of what might happen to them.
I see. Then you do Rosaria a great service.
Just as you did today. You're a useful man to have around. Here.
And there'll be a mug of something tasty waiting for you whenever you next stop by.
Right, we've got work to do for to make this place presentable. You best be going, before I arm you with a mop.
Fair enough.
There he is, the man of the hour.
Let's see what side quest the Hideaway has. Nope, not here. Oh, there's another one over there.
I heard Otto barking at his lot earlier.
You've lost a letter. Nothing too important, I hope.
Not just a letter. I lost everything. There's a hole in my damn pack, and fool that I am, I didn't bloody notice.
It can't be that bad, surely.
How could it be any worse? I'm a courier. I carry things. If I can't do my job right, then what am I good for? Nothing, that's what. I buggered it right up. That means no herbs for the infirmary, and no fresh meat for our cooking pots. Worst of all, that letter I lost? It was for Sid. A letter he's been waiting on for days.
Maybe if you retrace your steps.
I'd scour Storm from coast to coast if I could, but there are curse breakers in the field, counting on my arrival. No, I'll just have to own up to Otto and Sid. They're gonna skin me alive.
Fine. Tell me where to look.
Are you serious? Thank you.
It sounds like the Hideaway could use those supplies. So, where should I start?
Gotan's bales, perhaps? I took a tumble in the bushes when I was passing through. There's a chance my pack might have caught on something. If you can find everything I dropped, you'll be doing us all a favor. And if you can find Sid's letter, you'll be saving my life.
If it's there, I'll find it.
Wonderful. Now, I have to run if I'm to make my next delivery in time. I trust you can find your way to Gotan's bales. Oh, and hurry, will you? Sid doesn't like to be kept waiting.
I'm sure he doesn't. The letter won't last very long out in the elements. I should make for Sambrek as soon as I can.
Where are you, Randall?
Is everything all right?
Forgive me, young man. I was in a world of my own. I'm worried about my friend, you see. He left some time ago and hasn't returned. And you know what it's like out there for a bearer on his own.
Why leave the safety of the hideaway?
For coin. Sad though it is, our need outweighs the risk. The hideaway can't survive on goodwill alone. And though Karen does what she can, her coffers aren't bottomless. Wait, you were a soldier, were you not? In the Imperial Army?
I was.
Then I ask a favour of you. I'm too old to be traipsing hither and yon. Will you go and find him for me?
I'll do what I can.
Oh, thank you.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Randall, and I suspect you'll find him in Lost Wing. He's been working for Quinton, the tavern keeper. He'll know something, I'm sure.
I'll speak to him.
Safe travels, my friend. And thank you again.
Okay. Oh God.
The courier said his pack might have split while he was passing through the bales. I better keep my eyes open. Good. Looks like I'm in the right area. More of the lost supplies. I doubt he could have fit much more in his pack. Still no sign of Sid's letter, though. We've come this far. Might as well ask around.
A little overdressed to be picking grapes, aren't you? Are you here for Master Quentin?
I'm looking for a letter someone dropped nearby. And I suppose you've seen it.
Can't say I have, sorry.
Well, if you do...
Wait, I did pass a dog with something in its mouth a little while back. Could have been a piece of paper. No idea if it was your letter, but you never know.
Which way did it go?
Towards Lost Wing. Seemed well looked after to me. Dare say someone there's been feeding it.
To the village, then. Thank you.
Oddly enough, that's where my other side quest is.
It's looking to be a fine half.
Back, are ya? Did Master Quentin summon you?
The shad's all salted and smoked.
A whole day on the line and they're still...
Hey, doggy. Sorry, I need this.
It seems we have our culprit. Sorry, boy. Someone's waiting for this. And he's waited long enough already. Hopefully this will keep our courier out of trouble.
But what'll we do for supper?
But how did the grocer know his daughter had been stealing?
Ah, if it isn't Sid's young protege. To what do I owe the pleasure?
A I'm looking for a bearer called Randall. I hear he's been coming to you for work. He was expected back at the hideaway some time ago. A friend of his asked me to check on him.
Randall, you say? The porter? Yes, I know him. And I can't say I'm surprised if he has been delayed. I gave him enough to do. Though, thinking about it, he should probably have been back by now.
I'll go and look for him. Where was he headed?
He was to meet an associate of mine to the south of here, on Lorbert's Pass. I do hope nothing's happened to him. Be sure to let me know, Clive.
Sun's setting fast. They'll all be back.
Uh-oh. Hey, I'm jumping.
You all right?
The hanged man. Thank the gods. You're one of us. We were attacked. Beastmen on the road. Randall knew he didn't play the hero, but reckless sod insisted on drawing him off.
Where did this happen?
Further down the road. In the clearing. Please. You have to see that he's safe.
I'll do what I can. You go back to Lost Wing and tell Quentin what happened. Goblins. Why am I not surprised?
That's it.
Get him!
Ow.